Good afternoon everybody. Hello and welcome to this sensory walk today. I'm live on another walk today at the Sahara Mill. I've got Aneesha Davies from the wonderful group called the Wildlife of Yardley Wood, Billesley and the surrounding areas. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
correct. And she's joining me. She'll introduce herself shortly. We're just going to give you a few minutes for you to log in. I can see there's numbers rising now. And hello to the Active Wellbeing Society. Hi Jamie and everyone who helps make these videos and look after the comments as well. So really appreciate you joining us today on this virtual walk along. The sun's come out for us, so we're feeling really blessed here today. We're in a wonderful spot, the Shire Country Park at the Sahara Mill. And today's plan is we're going for a sensory walk along the John Morris Jones Walkway leading into the Dingles. And from the Dingles we're hopefully going to walk alongside the River Cole, and maybe if we're fortunate enough we might see a few wildlife elements that we can show you as well. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so welcome. I can see that the numbers are rising, so I'm going to officially introduce my guest and let her talk to you about how she started this group. So I'm going to turn the camera now, to bear with me. Hello. Could you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah. So I'm Aneesha and I set up the Facebook group, the Wildlife of Yardley Wood, Billesley and surrounding areas. I set it up back in April so we could all showcase the wonderful wildlife that we're experiencing. With the lockdowns, everyone's been going out and taking pictures of all the wildlife that we've been seeing, and there's been a real hunger to experience our wildlife. So I set the group up just so can sort of build a community of like-minded people, and just so we can all teach each other and create friendships and just really have a community spirit. We've got such beautiful areas that we all get to enjoy, and it builds the pride of the area. When so many people care about the area, it strengthens it. So.
Absolutely. So it's wonderful to have Aneesha, who has really helped people's mental well-being with her group. It's not just about a social connection, it's for people to come out for their mental well-being, to experience the green spaces, to connect with nature and wildlife, and find out what's on their doorstep. And how wonderful that we've got this right on our doorstep, Aneesha.
So lucky.
And we're both local residents, so this is our kind of nearest spot for us. So just going to show you a view, because recently the Sahara Environmental Action Team, or SEAT, came out and created some physical seats for us. As you can see, this is the amphitheatre area of the Sahara Mill, and we are alongside the River Cole, which we're going to show you shortly, and right by the Sahara Mill Museum and their cafe. So that's the spot we're going to start our walk from. Aneesha's got a hot chocolate already.
Supporting the local business.
Yeah, absolutely, supporting local businesses as always. And we're going to just show you these stairs now. We're going to go up these stairs because earlier when we came here we had a lovely view from up here. So if you haven't experienced it, just come and try it. So you come to the Sahara Mill Cafe. There is a car park for those who can't get here by foot, but we do say try and get here by foot or bike and come and experience. Down below is the river.
Quite a nice viewpoint over that side.
Yeah, let's go that side then. So we're going to go through this little gap here to show you the view of the river. Now bear with us, there is some roadwork noise going on, some maintenance noise, so apologies. But as we walk further along the River Cole, we will see, we'll hopefully have less of that sound and more of nature. And that's the wonderful view that Aneesha was pointing out to earlier. See the wild garlic? We can smell it from here. Can you smell it, guys, online? Let us know. We've got the Smelly vision activated on the camera today. No, that's the River Cole winding along towards the Green Road Ford in that direction. But today we're going to walk in the opposite direction, so we're going to head away from the ford and over onto John Morris Jones Walkway. But before we do come and see this wonderful spot here, and bring the children, and you can forage safely around here. You've got a little path that goes along the river here also, and then you can come and show them this wonderful elevated position. Now Aneesha pointed out earlier that just by standing here we saw, what did we see?
We saw gold crests, so they're like the UK's smallest birds, and just happily sitting there, wasn't bothered by us at all, and also robin just singing its little heart out, so it's really nice. Just from being here for a few minutes, lots of wildlife to see already.
So we haven't even started the walk, and Aneesha's already pointed out that tiny little bird that I didn't even know what it was. So how amazing that I've just learnt already something new, so thank you, Aneesha. So we're going to carry on and walk, and we'll do a little selfie change. So welcome to our viewers, guys. Thank you for joining in, thank you for logging in. We're going to go off on our walk now, and it's just gone 5 past, so I will start my watch and I'll try and track my walk as well. So how's everyone doing today, this afternoon? Have you been out on your walk this morning or this afternoon? Have you noticed anything unusual? I have. The sun's come out, so very unusual, but very glad that it has come out today. But if you've been out on your walk this morning, put down in the comment section what you saw. What experiences did you take in? What sensory experiences, elements did you see or feel? Was the wind blowing on your face? Was there smells around you? The spring is in the air. Did you see some wonderful colours in your green spaces? Did you hear some sounds? And did you see wildlife? Did you see anything unusual? Please put it into the comments. It's really nice to be out on a walk, but we want it to be interactive. We want to see the comments appearing as well. So just going to come up through this little area now and show you where we are.
How many people actually pick the garlic? Does anyone forage for it? Because it's great to use in salads and things like that, and pestos. I haven't tried it myself yet, but it's definitely something I'm going to try.
There you go. So earlier this week I was out with another friend, and she said she uses the wild garlic picked from here, this spot, for her pesto, and it comes out absolutely delicious. So if you know what you're foraging, guys, be careful. Any children, parents, obviously we want you to have your child with you when you're foraging. But she's gonna do a little smelly vision test for you guys. So Aneesha, if you rub that in your fingers,
so you
like you
give
did
it a bit
earlier,
of a rub, and it releases the smell, and it's really strong garlicky smell. The flowers aren't showing yet; they'll be following in the next few weeks, and then the smell will really hit the air, and you'll just smell it anyway. But it's great to do a bit of foraging.
Definitely. So Aneesha's just got us started on food, and we all like food, but over at the Sahara Mill Museum, which I turn the camera and show you now. So we're coming up to the car park for the Sahara Mill Museum, and there is a cafe here, isn't there? So the cafe is open 11 till 4, Wednesday till Sunday, I think, if that's correct. So if you are passing by and you fancy a little warm drink or a cold drink, but also their bakehouse is amazing. So if you get a chance to read about the bread that you can order and collect, I highly recommend you come here. So we're crossing over what here is a Coalbank Road, and we're going to go into the John Morris Jones Walkway. So first thing to do is cross over safely on a busy road. So if you're coming to that, make sure you're using your crossing points and crossing over safely onto the Shire Country Park as it continues along. There we go. Hello. Yeah. So here we are right outside the entrance for the John Morris Jones Walkway, part of the Shire Country Park. And what a wonderful inviting view ahead. So you can see the green ahead. I'm really looking forward to going out and exploring, so let's go. So while these guys are in their cars and they're busy with work, or they're on the school run, or we're going out for a walk along this path here. So there's a signboard here with some very interesting and useful information for locals. If you want to find out a bit more, stop here, have a read, find out what's going on locally and get involved. And this is the path we'll be taking today. So the John Morris Jones Walkway. Let's get away from the busy road a little so you can hear me better. and that path then will wind along the River Cole as it follows the path all the way up to the Dingles and beyond.
This park's nice and accessible as well for all people.
So Aneesha's just pointed out accessibility obviously is very important, and this is a nice, smooth, flat surface. I do come here with a bike, and the children enjoy cycling along this path as well, as it winds around the River Cole as well. And there's some great spots here which we'll show you. So over behind Aneesha there's a wooded area, and in there, if you took time out, you could see a lot more nature and wildlife as well, birds. And you can already hear the bird song. We're very close to the traffic.
When the wild garlic starts to flower, it's like one of the earliest sources of nectar and pollen. So obviously that brings a lot of insects, caterpillars, which again attracts the birds. So it's a really important source, early source of flowering nectar. So
that's great. Thank you very much for that fact. I can hear the birds.
I did a bit of read about the name.
Yes,
John Morris
I did as well.
And it's really interesting.
Okay, what did you learn?
So it was named after a head teacher in the 1960s.
Yeah.
He was, like myself and you, was very passionate about our heritage and these local sites. So he sort of created lots of informative pamphlets and things to hand out to children in schools. And he put a lot of work and research into it, and when this walk was created, they honoured him by naming it after him.
Fabulous, yeah.
So it's really great to
and he was the head teacher of George Dixon School, which is over towards the area where I grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
And it has got some links to this area as well, because it's very near the Tolkien area of the Edgbaston Reservoir, and there are some connections for the spot that we're in as well, so it's nice that we connected John Morris Jones to this space and this walk. So
and it's lovely that it's a member of the local community that's been honoured in such a beautiful way, and his legacy's being continued for the work that he did. It's great.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, we did a little bit of Google research there for you. Fabulous. So I walk along here and I keep the river to my left, because this path here, but just through this gate here there is an opening to the field, and there's a little orchard here, and you could take a walk through there if you wanted to get away from the beaten track and go out into the woodland area. So highly recommend that as well. It's a different type of sensory experience when you're away from a path. You might not hear the water, the River Cole sound, but you'll pick up a lot more sounds from there as well.
Yeah, and nice for picnics as well. If you're going on a nice walk, you can go sit in the grass and have a nice picnic on a nice day.
Yeah. So maybe through the other opening there we'll show the field, but also in the past I know that they've had Middle Earth festivals, and they use this field and the field across. So I've been here with the children and then been taking part of that Middle Earth festival.
And that whole Middle Earth thing is a great part of what makes these sites so special. It's our heritage, and it should be celebrated.
Celebrated, absolutely.
That's great.
I'm just going to stop here because this is one of the spots I do come down to, and you could go right down to the water level here, Aneesha. So the children like coming down here because it's got a little bit of a beach area here. Look.
Lovely.
So I've stood here and I have seen a heron fishing here in that direction there. So I've just perched and I've stopped and I watched it and appreciated the view from here. Now we're going right down to ground level. There's the camera on ground level now. So a different point of view for you. Can you see the ripples in the water? You hear the sound of the river? And the bird song.
That combination of just the sound of the water motion and the birds is just so soothing as well for your soul. It's like a release. And there is a proven link between time spent outdoors in these kind of spaces and well-being. So like there's been proven links that it decreases blood pressure and heart rate, which are all associated with stress. So just come in and just having a bit of mindfulness, listening to the sounds around you, really listening, really looking for things, and just the smells as well. There's a faint smell of garlic in the air, and it's just being aware of your surroundings. It's good for your soul. I certainly feel anyway. Yeah.
Yes, it looks absolutely beautiful, as you can see just through here. We'll get around the corner there a bit more as well, so you can see as the river winds its way around the path that we're going to be walking on. And here I've just seen something fly over. I don't know what it was, but it's a spot where I've also seen the little egret, the lovely white bird.
And a lot of our members have been lucky enough to spot the little egret and post photos. So
yeah, so it's a great spot to come, guys, and it's just so close to that main road, so close to that cafe there. So the children don't have to walk far to come into this nature spot here.
Definitely.
All right, so let's keep going. So this path does get busy at times, but thankfully today it's quiet. So hopefully we can really take in this sensory experience just as we walk along this path, and you can see the river on your left. Now just on the right, I mentioned earlier about the field. I'll quickly show you that and then we'll carry on. So this is the field where you can come in for your picnics, for your recreational use. I used it for my Catch 5k running, so I used to run around the field while my wife stood there and filmed me. So she had the harder job. I was alright. I was enjoying myself. I was looking around, taking in the elements and doing my exercise. So a wonderful space here for the community to come and use. It's quite hidden as well, so people do not know about it if you don't live in the area, but you can come out here, and that's the woodland, the kind of orchard area we mentioned earlier, and just beyond you can see the tower of the Sahara mill. So that's the water mill tower. You can just see through there as well, and one of the oldest working water mills. And we've just had 2 Canadian geese just fly over there. So you could stand here with your phone out or your camera, or put everything away and just stop and sit and take in the nature, appreciate this space.
In the coming months as well, we'll start to get like wildflowers coming up, which is great for bees and butterflies. If you're interested in butterflies, it's great to come out in an open grassland area like this and just really enjoy the wildlife.
Yeah, so let's carry on. Thank you, Aneesha. Let's go back on the path. So we've come sensible today. We've got our wellies on, because it does get a bit muddy in places, and if you don't mind getting a bit muddy, that's where you're really going to see some of the beauty spots. So yeah, make sure you come prepared with the right footwear. Now if you don't want to go into the muddy parts, you have got the wonderful path, so you can stay on the path all the way around and you won't get your feet muddy or dirty. But we might take a little off-road excursion through here as we're walking through. There's a gentleman there enjoying his garden space. Hiya, good afternoon.
Very lucky.
Very lucky. That's his escape. Yeah, look, he's got his own little wild spot created there. Sorry, we forgot to mention this. So do you come down here with your son? Yeah, so here is a wonderful space that people have created here. Now I think it's a gentleman sitting there who created this, because I have spoken to him in the past, and he created this space for the children to enjoy. And look at this amazing structure still here, and it really did provide a lot of shelter for people on the hot summer days.
And that's a real skill as well, to be able to
weave
the wood. So brilliant.
So yeah, and that's great. So I'm going to go inside and show you the view from here along the river. And there's the river coal, and there's a gentleman that was you the one who created this?
I did that.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Great.
What a great thing to do. Thank you. There's him enjoying his space. Fantastic space here. Right, let's carry on. Let him enjoy his afternoon. He's sitting there with his cup of tea, enjoying it. Lovely man. So if you ever walk in, do stop and say hello to him. So Aneesha, tell us a little bit about yourself then. You're a university graduate, and you're also doing postgraduate studies, yes? So what did you study?
So I did my degree in animal behaviour. I've always loved wildlife and animals and things like that. and then I moved on to my masters in conservation biology, which I'm doing at the moment. So I'm working on my dissertation at the minute, so it's left me with a bit of free time to do other hobbies, which includes my wildlife page, which is sort of my little passion project of engaging local communities with their wild spaces. I think it's so important to just create the connection with the wild spaces that we have. You know, as we were talking before lockdown, we used to just walk through and not pay any attention, you know, not really seeing it. But lockdown sort of unlocked something in us. You know, our schedules have been dropped and we've been able to really experience things, and it's quite exciting actually to see what the future holds for our spaces now we've sort of learned how much we need them. But yeah, I think as children, I think all children have this like innate love of nature, getting muddy, building dens, and it sort of gets like shaken out of us. So I think if you take the time to really forge that connection, then they'll carry it through life, and it's so important. It's important for our well-being and also for the future of places like these, because these places need to be used for them to really survive and be sustainable.
Absolutely. So yeah, great to see Aneesha. She's educated, but she's also got a passion for this as well.
Yeah.
So it's taking her professional and passions together, really, isn't it? Professional life.
And I just want to use it to help our local spaces, really, to, you know, put a bit back in. So.
Thank you. So I'm going to turn back to the front-facing view of the path. You can see the sun coming through the trees. What a wonderful view as well. There's the sun. And it just over here, I wanted to show this pirate garden, the pirate enclosure. So again, somebody's created their backdoor space into this wonderful, wonderful pirate retreat. Let's go down and show you the flag.
Every child's dream.
Yeah, every child's dream. Wouldn't they want that in there as their back garden? What a wonderful space.
Amazing.
Can you see this, guys, on the camera? I hope it's coming through. Hope you can see this. Yeah, do come and visit this spot here. It's another lovely spot. You can see how clear the water is down here as well. And you could see the fishes as well. And also a regular spot for the heron to come and do some fishing as well, with the shallow waters as well. Now, kingfishers.
Yes.
Talking about kingfishers, which is a very, very rare bird to spot.
Yeah.
Have you seen one?
So I've seen
More than one?
many.
Oh wow,
This
how
summer,
fortunate.
Before this summer, I'd probably seen one just going past, but I've had multiple encounters along the River Cole.
Yeah.
So I feel so blessed, and each time is just amazing. But yeah, the River Cole is amazing for kingfishers, and that is a testament to the river itself, because they'll only live alongside clear rivers that have good fish stocks.
Yeah.
So it's an indicator of how great our River Cole is.
Hello, how are you? You're right.
Yeah.
Good to see you. They're the King's
indicator.
Heath Running Club members. Give them a shout out, why not? So yeah, it's nice to see regulars using this for their well-being by walking, running, and we're doing our sensory walk today, and we're stopping and appreciating things as we're walking along.
Yep.
I'm really glad the sun's come out. It's absolutely beautiful to show
Just
this.
feeling that sun on your face after such a long winter. Oh,
that's right.
lovely.
Yeah. Now we went into a lockdown almost a year ago, Aneesha.
Yeah.
And you created this group quite early in the lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's like April, like a month into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed the group, so I followed the group locally as a local resident. But I just saw how beautiful it was for people to connect on it, and you know, you provided a safe space for people to share their love of nature and wildlife.
Yeah.
And now we're just seeing some wonderful pictures being shared daily on the group.
Yeah.
There's so much chatter on there, so much connections are happening, and you are creating a space for like-minded people to come together.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's the hope really, is, you know, it's not just all about the wildlife and things like that, it's about creating friendships as well. I mean, I'd imagine there's people on the group that are shielding as well, or that have been shielding, or elder people that maybe perhaps can't get to the spaces anymore, but just through them being able to, you know, experience what I experience or what other members experience, I hope it's really like bringing it back, the beauty of the spaces we have.
Yeah, I think it's great because you're creating a virtual window for them to see what's on their doorstep, and even people who don't live nearby, for them to see what's on this side of the city as well.
Yeah.
So it's really great that people do value our groups that we've created to help people stay together. What the work that's happening in the community is so beautiful that during the lockdown that the communities came together in their own special ways. Yeah,
Definitely.
whether that's helping each other for food, emergency food relief, whether that's helping a neighbour collect prescriptions, and things like this, helping people get inspired to go out and explore nature and what's on their doorstep.
I think it's really woken us up in many aspects of life. You know, we've been sort of dormant in some ways, and you know, it's just woken us up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's been a great, and that's all testament to you as well. So you know, you've created that space, so you've facilitated it so that others can come out and they show their true beauty and value for the community. So when I wake up, I go onto the group, I check who's been out for the morning walk, what have they spotted this morning. We're really looking forward to seeing some new species that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Now over at Tritterford, someone spotted a wonderful mandarin duck.
Amazing. Yeah.
So
just
I
things
hadn't
like
seen that.
You know, we live in an urban landscape. Our wild spaces are fragmented, and you know, but people wouldn't think that, you know, we'd have otters, kingfishers. Oh, lovely.
What do we have there?
So female blackbird.
Female blackbird, guys. Can you see it just there? I'm going to try and zoom in. Perching there. There it is. You see it? Beautiful bird there. So just stopping and appreciating and noticing. It's all the ways of connecting to your well-being, isn't it? Stopping, appreciating, noticing and giving back as well. So be mindful of what's around you. Yeah, so we're going to stop here for a second. Now there's the end of the path, and then when we cross over safely, we're going to go over to the Dingles. So again, Dingles, tell us your earliest memories of the Dingles.
Oh well, I'm a bit ashamed. I used to visit the Dingles a lot. I went to the school next door to it, so that's pretty lucky, but I never really appreciated it until, I'd say, the past couple of years. Well, mainly the past year. So I drop my son off to school, and the first thing I do is head into the Dingles for my morning walk, and I go stand by the river and just listen and soak, and I just feel a massive release of stress and worries, and it really is my medicine. And there's always so much to see there as well.
Yeah, I've been there. No matter what day I've been there, whether it's sunny, raining, you will absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Every day is special there.
Yeah.
And seeing that space. Now, I like that because you've got two sides of the river that you can walk along. So you've got the kept side of it, and then you've got the natural, beautiful kind of nature side of it, which I like to go. But it does get muddy on that side, so you do need to come with your wellies, and you can get stuck in places. But it's definitely the side that I would recommend you try and walk down. Yeah. So it's getting busy on this path, and we're going to cross over now. I'm just going to watch where I'm going so that I don't bump into anyone, and keep our 2 meter social distance as well. That's great. So I've seen just at this spot here is where I saw the little egret. Now I'm going to, at the end of this video, I will tag in a little video called Relive, and it was my little Egret Trail that I did. I came out here on the last day of the year, so the 31st of December, and I stood here and I looked up and I saw what looked like a pure white bird that I'd never seen before, and I thought, what is that? And I stood there and watched it, and then I saw it get up and fly over to that side where the river continues. So I walked along, and I was fortunate enough to stop by the bridge and capture its moment while he was fishing. And it was the first time I've seen the little egret, and apparently he's a resident of the Sahara Mill and lives at the Sahara Mill pool, I think. But it has been spotted now more frequently, or whether there's more of them.
Yeah.
And it's great to see and notice that we've seen lots of herons, little egrets, cormorants around here, and it's fantastic because maybe a lockdown has brought that out and we've got to see more nature now.
Yeah, and I think on a side sort of thing, I love how some of the more regular species that we've been seeing become sort of famous on the group. So we've got our heron that we've seen quite a lot, and it's almost like a familiar face now, which is lovely.
Yeah. So we're crossing this is this the Robin Hood Lane? Yeah. And onto the Brook Lane. So that's the Brook Lane there. We're just going to cross safely over onto this side. You can see some wonderful colours at that roundabout back there as well. So, and we're just continuing along on the Coleside Avenue, which will take us back on to the start of the Dingles.
Yep.
So
it's
the
really
river
warmed up now as well. It's lovely.
Hi, good afternoon. So yeah, it's warmed up. Lovely to see people out on their walk, and lovely to see that it's litter free around here virtually as well. So you know, there are little bits of litter that we might be dotted, but majority looks like someone's been out here and you can see the bags all piled up next to the bin there as well.
That's a testament to the Billesley bin baggers.
Yes.
The local group that have been really doing their part to assign streets to themselves and do their bit for the community, which is really great. So well done to them as well. Yeah,
big shout out to the Billesley bin baggers, Beryl especially, and all the other people that are part of that group that do this fantastic volunteering work to keep our green spaces clean for us to enjoy. So I'm just going to show you a little glimpse down there. There's what we can see down there. Do you know what that is? Is that a moorhen?
Yeah, it's a moorhen.
There's a moorhen down there, and you see quite a few of them at Tritchford as well. But we'll keep walking to the bridge because there's a wonderful bridge up ahead. It's got the 4 arches, I think. It's a 4 arches bridge, and it's a wonderful spot to stop and appreciate what's here. So let's get to the bridge and we'll use that as our next point.
I always think how lovely it'd be to live in one of these.
Yeah, these little...
Really lovely. Having this as your front garden.
Absolutely, yeah. How fortunate to have that, yeah?
Definitely.
So if you are one of those residents that are there, we're very envious of you at the moment. And what a wonderful space you've got here, a little community that's being built here, and sheltered housing, and it's amazing. It's really, really good to have this here for your well-being. Right, so this is the bridge I was talking about. So how many arches can we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 arches bridge. Tritchford Millpool is in that direction, and it looks like we've needed a bit of a tender loving care for John Morris Jones sign that's fallen off, but maybe we can report that in and get that sorted as quickly as possible. So this is the Shire Country Park. Just going to go up to the bridge, but then we're going to carry on the Dingles from here. Aneesha, it's going to be up to you which way you want us to go. So I'm just going to show the bridge first, and then you decide, do we carry on that way for a bit more or do we go across? So I've stopped here, and that's where I saw the little egret here fishing away on New Year's Eve, and on this side as well. Look, wow, what a beautiful view.
Lady foraging over there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, lady picking some wild garlic.
Some wild garlic foraging going on just behind there. Is it a lady or gent? Yeah, lady. And yeah, the river Cove.
Such a tranquil spot.
Often come here and stop on my walk and sit, perch on this wall here, and take in the elements, taking the sounds and the sights here. And I do stop and look out for the wildlife now, rather than continuing on with my run. I take a moment out and I do stop. So thank you, Aneesha, for teaching me about stopping and appreciating what's on the doorstep. Right, which way do we go then?
I'll say this way.
Okay.
It's a hard decision.
It's a hard decision. We're limited to time. We'd like to show you all, but we're limited to time, so we're going to go along here.
Yeah. Just because I like the bridges. Oh, such a lovely day.
It is absolutely lovely.
urge everyone to come out today for a little walk if you can. Such a beautiful day for it. Really feels like the beginning of spring.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more about how people can find your page, and you know what they can do on there. Can they share pictures, videos?
Yeah.
Can they in the future, if we're allowed to meet in groups once we're out lockdown, do you think that we could do like a little cafe meet and encourage people to come out for a walk together and experience it together?
So it's on Facebook, so you just type in Wildlife of Yardley Wood, Billesley and surrounding areas, or it's tagged in this video, so
tagged in,
give it a follow. And yeah, it's just anything, literally anything related to our local wildlife. You can post your pictures that you take on your local walks. If there's a really good spot that you want to tell everyone about, tell everyone. Videos of birds in your garden. If you've got a pond, you know, share it. If you want to build a pond, you know, tell us how you're going to do it. It's really just about engaging people and just sharing your experiences. Part of the reason why I did set the group up as well was because I was really curious to see what other people were spotting. So yeah, and the hope is eventually to start, when it's safe to do so, maybe do some group walks. I'm really keen to share some of my favourite spots. Trittiford Mill of an evening in the summer is amazing for bats, so we could do like a group bat walk maybe. So yeah,
that all sounds really exciting, Aneesha. I'm looking forward to the days where we can meet as a group and do that, so I'll definitely be part of that. I just want to stop here and just have a read of the comments. Mrs. Naz says, love this place, it's a great sensory experience. Certainly is, Nazia. Sue has said, this lovely, just joined. Please repost access point when you finish. Loving this. No problem, Sue, we can put it all in the comments later. Thank you for joining us and watching this live. I can hear it and see it. Oh, she was referring to things earlier. What is Aneesha's group? Well, it's tagged into this post, so this post, as it popped up, it's called the Wildlife of Yardley Wood, Billesley and the surrounding areas. It's on Facebook, and please do follow it and share it to others that may benefit and appreciate it as well. And she's put, wonderful, can't wait to see the Dingles. Brilliant. So Sue, if we've actually inspired you to come out today, we've done our job, haven't we? And that's the purpose, is to make this virtual video to inspire people to come out and see the space. Deb, lovely, my old stomping ground. Okay, Deb, got some history here, have you? So yeah, tell us about your earliest memories here. What do you appreciate around here? What's your favourite memory? And share it in the comments. We're just at another spot now where we could, I'll leave it to Aneesha to decide which way we're going from here.
Carry on.
We're going to go through here?
Yep.
So we're going to go through this section here. Now this is another little bridge area, and here you can get really up close to the river now as it winds around. And I've seen dogs in here enjoying splashing about. I've had parents and children, you know, down at the water level as well. So again, anything to do with water, like I keep saying, it's really important for your health, for the safety that you are. As you can see, the water's flowing quite quickly here. So the children need to be supervised at all times, and do take care when you're out here with young ones.
There's a nice ledge over there, which I have to be very careful, but I sometimes like to sit and hang my legs off.
Okay.
In the mornings and just listen and watch wildlife.
Okay, let's go and show that where that is. So this is a spot where Aneesha recommends. Do not come on the time when she's here though, because she's booked it, she's reserved it. Which way is it? Through
just
here?
There, just that ledge there. I like to
sit
and you can hang your legs off and look at the water. I'll try and wait for some kingfishers to appear.
So this ledge is what she's referring to here. Just sit, dangle your legs off, and just hope that you see a kingfisher or two as they fly past you, whiz past you. I've seen one, it wasn't at this spot, but it was at the Kingfisher project along the River Cole further down, and it just shot past me, bright blue, beautiful thing, and I wish that it'd stop so I can get a real good view of it, but maybe next time. I'll keep hoping and praying that I see it. There's a white, did you see that? I think that was a little egret, it just flew. Maybe, yeah. Just pure white bird just flew off from that branch there.
These bushes a bit further on ahead are really good for bullfinches, which are these beautiful red little finches with black head. Yeah. And they're really great for spotting them there, but they're pretty shy, so they clear off well before you get there.
Now, around here, I presume we will see a lot of foxes here as well, and
yeah.
other any other things that have been spotted along here.
Muntjac deers.
Yeah, that's it. Because
I've
I
never
saw
seen them.
your footprints. You were
Yeah,
talking.
so
Was it down here that you were pointing?
On the other side. It was on this side actually that we're going on now.
Yeah.
Because you know we've had quite wet weather and things. It's great to look for little tracks in the paths.
Yeah.
And if you look very carefully, you might see it's kind of like a cloven heart shape, and they're so tiny that you wouldn't believe. Little hoof prints. And you can, yeah, I sort of followed the path that they took, and it's really lovely. It's lovely to imagine that they're actually
wild,
in our little urban park. So
yeah.
it's a bit crazy.
That's really nice when you showed that on the group. So I wanted to try and see if I can come out and see the footprints one day as well.
This is a great spot to look for birds. As I mentioned, you get the bullfinches, get some chaffinches. Quite a lot of long-tailed tits, which they're my favourite, and really lovely to watch. And then it's a good spot to watch the kingfisher as well. Hopefully.
Oh, another bridge,
if you're lucky, yeah. Bridges are great spots to look for kingfishers, you know, because you're literally over the water, and there's some great perching spots here.
Yeah, so
hopefully they'll stop and.
Let's stop here for a minute and show this bridge. So again, highly recommended spot by Aneesha. She comes out here and uses this spot as a little break. And see where the birds could perch right in front of you if you're fortunate enough.
And I've seen them
on
here
the
many
day.
times, so it's a good spot.
So it's a good spot, highly recommended. And on this side of the way that we were walking through as well.
Especially in the coming month, it's going to be like nesting season for kingfishers. So they'll be in and out a lot, feeding the chicks. So it increases your chance of seeing them.
Let's take a moment and let's just go quiet. I'm just going to show our viewers and they can hear what we can hear. That's wonderful. I could stand here all day and just listen to the sounds and hear the river below.
Just watch the flowing water as well. It's really relaxing. See the sun reflecting onto the water.
Certainly is fabulous, Sue, isn't it? So we're going to go into this little section now, I think, and then we'll go to, I think we should go to the point where the Chin Brook meets the River Cole.
Yeah.
That little bridge there. Do you know how to get to that one?
Yeah.
From there? Yeah.
Yeah, further on down here.
This is an open sort of like space, but we've got just on that side is a main road, isn't it? It's a busy road there. So you wouldn't notice that because you've got these wonderful green trees blocking that, and you are literally coming through that little gap there, down the slope, into this green belt, into this green space. The green lung is our green lung here locally, and this belt cuts through the whole of Birmingham, and it follows the River Cole all the way to North Solihull and towards the Coleshill direction. So if you don't know the River Cole, Google it, find out where it is, where does it connect to your local space, and then go out and enjoy, and let us know what you see on your walks around those spots as well.
Got a blackthorn flowering now, which is a beautiful sight after our horrible winter, and it's a great place to spot the early butterflies. Yeah, it's really lovely.
It is a lovely view behind. You can see behind Aneesha there the colours, beautiful colours coming through.
Beautiful white flowers. Lots of magpies.
Yes, lots of magpies on there I can see as well. So if we put this camera on from this point and we were walking along and we said we were in Stratford upon Avon or somewhere like that, people,
yeah, you would believe it.
You would believe it, wouldn't you?
To be honest, anywhere, because you walk in these spaces and you don't feel like you're in Yardley Wood anymore, or Billesley.
No.
With the some of the negative connotations that you get with the, the urban places, you just feel transported, and I think that's one of the great ways that it helps people, because it, whatever worries and stresses you've got going on at the moment, you come in these spaces and it doesn't exist.
That's right. So when I come in the summer, I tend to then jog along this side of the river because it's less boggy and muddy.
Yeah.
In the winter I tend to stay on that side, solely because it's easier for running. But when you're on your walk, I'd say come onto this side and you can see the river cutting through here, this section here, and you can also go into the middle section further up, and then that will then take you all the way down to the Dingle, to the Tritford Mill pool, and then you can cross over and enjoy the space that is the Tritford Mill Park, Tritford Mill pool, and the wonderful wildlife that you see on the pool there. What's that ahead that's flying over there? Look like a finch, or yeah. So hard to spot them as they whiz past you.
Especially with the sun.
So there's a seat over here now. Throne. I call it the Game of Thrones. So it has, unfortunately, it's broken away a bit from the side. I'm going to try and show you that little area here. So when I'm on the walk, trying to keep an eye on what we see behind as well. This is the throne. This is where I come and take my little break. So if I'm running or walking, have you come and have you seen this? So this is a sculpted seat. There's a section of it, unfortunately, that has come off from the side, as you can see from this side, quite recently as well. So it's only happened this year, but what a wonderful space this was. It's a carved seat here for you to enjoy when you're on your walk. You can sit down, have a break. The children like coming and climbing and sitting down and taking a break here and have that view. So as you're sitting, I'm going to sit on there. I'm going to show you the view virtually for our viewers, and that's the view you can see through the trees, the sun breaking through as well, the birds, the leaves, the colours.
Children like to build dens in this part as well in the summer months. There's a lot of fallen branches. I think that some of the schools come over here and do. My son was involved in forest school over here in this site, which is brilliant, and they was involved in doing den building and stuff like that, which is again creating that connection while they're young to their local spaces. So
we talked about forests, and it is World Forestry Day this Sunday, 21st of March, and I've got a special walk. So I'm going to be out doing a Sunday morning walk in the Moseley Bog, which is also part of the Shire Country Park, and not far away from where we started our walk from. So do join me on Sunday for a very special sensory walk with Matt Windle, who's a poet laureate, and also former young poet laureate for Birmingham. He's the face of the new Birmingham Library. He's also a professional boxer. He's a poet. He's branded as Poet with Punch, but I'm going to keep our session as Poetry in Motion, I think. So I want him to connect to this green spot, which is the Moseley Bog, and create some poetry as we walk and talk on Sunday morning. So if anybody's not going out on the Sunday morning for a walk and is at home and wants to watch us on Facebook, it's the same link as today, the Active Wellbeing Society page. Please join Matt Windle and myself as we go on that walk. So this is the bit I was trying to get to. So over there is the bridge. So we're going to work our way through this little path to the bridge, and I think it might be the time for us to end the video at that point. I
just want to say as well, this is the patch that's really good for looking for the muntjac deers. Obviously it's very muddy. I spotted some a couple of days ago. I can't see any. Maybe been trodden in by people.
Yeah, it looks like people have been here. It's a very popular spot.
If you're curious, come and have a look for tracks, animal tracks. This spot.
Yeah, animal tracks down here, guys. So all these muddy patches down here is where the muntjac deers, the hooves were seen by Aneesha. So let's. Oh, look what's down here. Look. Have you noticed this before?
Yes, it's lovely. I don't know who's done it, but it's
Whoa, that's amazing.
lovely. The residents of the woods.
The residents of the woods looking after our green space here, the gnomes here. So thank you whoever's created this little spot here for the children and the adults to enjoy as well. That's brilliant, really nice. So we're going to cut through here, head towards that little bridge there. So we're going in right into nature now, into the wild elements, and that's what we like. So when you come off the beaten track, you come out and you see the real beauty spots like this. The river's there, winding its way through, and then next to the river is the Chin Brook. So let's go and show you the bridge we're talking about. There we go. So another wonderful spot here. So the bridge just behind that tree, you can just see it there. So when you're coming from the other path across there, you come to the bridge, and this is where the Chin Brook meets the River Cole.
Yeah.
So you can see the two meet there and it turns into one ahead. But on this side, you've got the River Cole here and the Chin Brook running alongside it. And great little spot for you to come now. If you came from that bridge across there, you'd walk across into this central area here, and you've got the whole stretch that will take you back out towards Tritterford Millpool. So that's what I recommend you do. Come for the walk. You've got the river and the Chin Brook either side. You've got birds, you've got nature, you've got trees, you've got flowers. It's just a beautiful, beautiful space.
And this is actually the spot where I got my kingfisher photo last time. So I was standing on that bridge, which is my favourite spot because you've got all the beautiful aspects. And two kingfishers swooped by and turned around, and one stopped on a perch just there. So that was amazing. So it's another good spot, you know, because you've got so much water around you, you've got the best opportunity to see them. So
brilliant. Yeah. What a great spot that was. I've seen the photo. We can share the photos as well. If you've seen a kingfisher, if you've seen a kingfisher recently or during lockdown, share it in the comments. You know, send it to us. Send us the picture. I can smell the garlic very strong here now.
I think we've
very, very strong.
And it's releasing the smell. Lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
Smell of spring.
It's time for us to end now. So I know we've gone over slightly, but that's fine because the idea was to have a walk and stroll and stop at interesting places and points. And hopefully we've done the best to show you this beautiful spot, which is the Dingles, the John Morris Walkway and the Sahara Mill where we started. So I just want to say thank you officially to Aneesha who joined me. She's given up her time, an hour to be out with me today on this sensory walk. I've really enjoyed the company. I've really enjoyed learning about what you've done. I'm really proud that you've put this group together to help people like me get in to learn more about nature, what's on our doorstep, stopping, noticing and appreciating more what's around me.
Yeah.
So thank you, Aneesha.
I'd just like to quickly say thank you to all the members that make the group so amazing. I started the group, I didn't think there'd be many people that would be interested, but it really warms my heart to know that there's so many people in our community that care about our wildlife. And you know, the safety in numbers, we need to protect our spaces, and if there's enough people to care about them, then they should be safe for the future. So
absolutely, wise words from Aneesha, from such a young lady as well. So very proud for what she's done. So we're going to sign out now. Let's get back to our selfie point of view. So we're going to have a lovely stroll back and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. The sun's out. I do hope that you get out and enjoy some of the sun today. Please do make time for your well-being. It's so important to be out. Connect to your local green space. Share your routes with us. If you would like me to come out and do a sensory walk video near you, please put it in the comments. Invite me out. I'd love to partner up with you. And hopefully now from the 29th of March onwards, we'll be able to be out in groups of bubbles of 6. So maybe some of the actual physical walking groups can start, and Aneesha can start something as well, and we can get you invited and come and see this wonderful space as well. So take care, have a great afternoon, thanks for following and watching, and this video will be available as soon as it ends now on our Facebook page for you to share on, for you to watch back from the start on demand, and do share it on the others so they enjoy and see what's on their doorstep as well. Okay, so take care, thank you again, bye.